Welcome to another episode of Real BMX Racing, the podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Extreme Squared, Eddie's Blocks, Answer BMX, 110% Nutrition, with a special shout out to Toby Henderson over at Send It. Today's guest is USA BMX Pro rookie Cameron Wing. Cameron, welcome to the show.
So you always start off asking people how this whole journey for you started. That's usually where we want to start.
Yeah, my grandpa, who pretty much raised me, started in motocross. That's usually how a lot of people start. And he raised my uncle through BMX. He turned like 16, started getting into girls, stuff like that. So I was kind of the round two. And so then he took me through the whole thing since I was like 4. He took me out there as soon as I could get on the bike. And that's pretty much where it started, I guess, through family. It was going to happen whether I wanted it to or not. So here we are.
That's what it sounds like. Normally we don't see people having that sort of guidance. It's usually like the families and the rider going through it together, learning everything together. That's really cool that they already knew the ropes before you got involved to know exactly what to do with you. You know, it sounds like.
Yeah, it can be because sometimes they think they know more than I do because they've done it before.
Right.
Normally what happens.
And so where was this?
Where was what?
Where you started racing? Like, where are you from and where did you come up racing?
I'm from Texas, but my home track is DeSoto, Texas, with the under the big top, and that's been my home track my whole life. So
nice, man.
It's pretty good. So, one of the questions that I wanted to ask is, what was your first big name brand bike?
I would think it may not be like to everyone, but personally, probably Double Cross when they used to be around. My first bike was the little mini red line, the complete red line.
Nice.
But I worked into like Double Cross for a few years, and then went to Supercross, and then went to Rift, and then so on. So
what are you riding now?
There you go.
Well, the last few years I was on Factory Alpha, and so that's what I was on. I was riding the Alpha frame, and I loved it. Still have it built. But this year I'll be on a Rift again, going back to the roots. So
nice. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. A lot of new things. I've never used it only is compatible with disc brakes, and so I have to learn the whole disc brake thing since that's kind of where the sport's going and everything. So I figured I held off for a while, but it's kind of time to where everyone's kind of transitioning to the disc brakes. So just trying to figure all that out and learn something new. And I'm excited for it, so we'll see.
Cool, man.
The one thing I heard about disc brakes is when they first came out, everybody was saying like they just literally stopped on a dime, so it would like launch you. But the technology has improved. So I haven't experienced it, and I've done a handful of brakes on them. Maybe just because I'm a big person, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I just assumed like you want to just tap it because it's just so intense, but it's not that bad. I actually enjoy it, especially with it raining out there at what was it? Rock Hill. It rained out one day,
years ago.
and I had regular brakes on some carbon, and it was just like I hit them, and I'm still going.
Yeah, I'm not getting the hydraulic or anything because I don't want to stop like the Dom, like on a dime. But and I don't even know how to work on disc brakes to begin with, so we'll have to learn all together. But I don't even have them yet because I don't even know how to order them. So that's kind of where we're at.
You have to make sure you have the right adapters and all that good stuff. So yeah,
I have everything else all in pieces, everything brand new. It just isn't built because I don't know how to order disc brakes. So we're in the process.
And so you said you work on your own bike?
I wish. I try, but I've just always had it available for someone at my disposal to like do it for me. So I normally go to them because I don't trust myself. So, but eventually
you and me
I
both,
will.
brother. You and me both, brother.
Yeah, that's the one thing I want to learn how to do is the hydraulic disc brakes. The mechanical ones are pretty easy, man. It's the hydraulic. And then there's like, you know, the difference between the Shimano's and the Hopes, you know, they're two totally different sets, it seems like, as far as like, you know, and it's all good, man. So, I mean, you've ridden a bunch of tracks. Do you have a favorite track?
It'd be kind of biased for me to say DeSoto BMX. So to give you something else, probably Nashville, Music City.
Okay.
Just because it suits, like I just like the way it flows and it suits my riding style, and that's kind of the best I've ridden so far. So I'm excited to go back this coming year.
That's another question I want to ask. What is your riding style? Like, what do you consider your riding style?
I've always been a little bit. My advantage has been like strength, so I've always ran a little bit harder gear than everyone. Just because being in school and everything, being in the gym a lot, I built the base early, and then that's kind of where I fall back to. That's where a lot of the training's done is in the gym and a lot of strength. So anything where there's a lot of pedaling going on is normally suits me better. The tracks that are more technical and a lot more track speed based is where I fall back a little bit. So Nashville has a long drag strip, nothing but a sprint, nothing to stop you. So that's why I like it.
And so you run the same gear pretty much everywhere you race?
Yeah, I've always had the 4416, like pretty much forever. Just keep trying to spin it faster and faster. But whenever I build my new bike, I think I'll lower it just a little, just because I think that if I was to make a change from last year where I struggled, it's like getting out of the hole out of the gate. So I just want to get out a little bit quicker and then try to hold on to it. So just trying to figure everything out still. But yeah, I've always ran the same gate, same gear, no matter where I was at. Seems to work pretty well.
So are you going to Blue Ridge in 2 weeks? Sorry, next month. Blue Ridge is next month. So used to it being in January, but now it's in February.
Is that Virginia?
This year. Yeah, the indoors.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So with that being said, the reason why I was asking is, so would you change your gear on that though, like to go to an indoor track versus, or you're just like, nah, I got it, pedal the floor?
Yeah, I probably won't change it for some. Like the only instance I thought about changing it was something like as small as like Vegas used to be, or something like as big as Rock Hill. But everything in that spans in the middle, I try to make work. It'd have to be a huge like change of track for me to consider changing it.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought that the Blue Ridge, because I've never been to that track yet. I thought that was like a really small track, like Vegas. I mean, Vegas looked really small, but so
Vegas is really small. Blue Ridge last year I went, and it was fairly small, and but there seemed to be a lot of pedaling down first straight, and like if I can keep them going and get the gear going, then it seems to be fine. And don't get me wrong, I do bring the gears with me just in case, but hardly do I ever change them.
Okay. And so do you watch the light or do you listen for the sound of the beep when you start?
Up until I was like 14, I did nothing but watch the light because that's how I was trained. And then once like I just started doing my own thing and trying stuff out, I don't even know how it happened, but I just ended up listening, and I've just liked listening ever since. Just because like when looking at the light, like I'm not actually looking at the light. I'm looking at people in the stands or not paying attention. So I just don't want to see any other colors and flashes going on.
So that keeps you more focused. Wow, that's cool, man. All right. Yeah. I never thought about that part of it. But you're right. When you kick your head up, man, you see everything, you know. I just started watching the light, you know, so when I'm thinking it's helping me, but I don't know. That's why I always ask people. I'm just curious to see how you guys kind of go about it.
If I personally was able to actually focus on the light, like I probably would, but for some reason that like I noticed like 3 seconds after the light is gone that I need to go. So like it's just better for me to listen to the sound. But like in the little instances that in the main event when I can't hear anything because everyone's so loud, then I do know how to like watch the light. So I will look up if it's a last resort. If I really can't hear anything, I can look up and watch the light if I need to.
That's funny because I hear people saying that as far as like the noise, and usually we're talking the pros or 17 to 20 experts. People don't cheer for me in Everett's class, yo. So we never had to experience that. Like it's dead silence, like they're just waiting for us to fall, So
I would say normally it's us, me and you yelling at each other.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I never thought about that. I mean, 17 to 20, that's like the most exciting class, like people are cheering and screaming and going crazy. The kids, the parents, whatever. So very cool, man.
So with that being said, what's your game plan for it? You gonna stay in there from 17 to 20, or are you looking to go pro this season?
My pro card came in this week, so
well, now it's done deal. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Cool, man. Thank you.
That's dope. That's dope.
A little nervous?
Yeah, for sure. I don't personally think I am ready, but like I don't like for as hard as I train and the people I train with, like I just feel like it would suit me better to look at the bigger picture and like as hard as we train, like I want to train. I already trained with the elites, so I figured like why not work my way up and see where I stand in Phoenix.
There you go.
Good for
that
you,
and I feel like since I think you ended up finishing NAG 10 this year.
Yes, sir.
And a very tough class, let alone so like that right there lets you know that it's you're right there with the big dogs and everything. It's just how your rookie season is going to go. Don't let it be all nerves because I remember my rookie season 3 years ago.
You're still in your rookie season, bro. Kidding me? So how much does your team push you also? Are they like, yo, bro, come on, man, you're fast enough. Let's do this, man. You could do this.
As far as like Marion, the college, or like
because just whoever has influence on you as like a coach or either,
it's kind of like the tough love situations where it's just like suck it up kind of thing. Like,
okay,
there's not any like motivational, like you got this type things. It's just like, just go in there and like
do what you gotta do.
Give them hell and see what happens.
Well, that says it all. That means they believe in you and know you can do it. They're not going to just throw you into the fire if you think you're going to burn, They know,
Because who I'd probably talk to the most is my trainer, because I go to Marion in Indianapolis, and he's the head strength and conditioning coach for the whole school, like over football and everything. But he came to school there for BMX. He was a pro BMXer and somehow ended up getting the head coach, strength and conditioning coach for the whole school.
Wow.
So like he provides really good training for the BMXers who need it. And so he's been through all the pro ranks and the top of amateur. So it's really good to talk to him about like what situations I'm going to be in and how it's all going to work and stuff like that, and what it really takes to go to the next level. Like if I really want it to go that far.
Right. That's awesome that you have somebody around there that you can ask questions, yeah, and can see you progress and, actually pull you to the side. Hey, you're doing this wrong, bro. Or you're doing that right. It's very cool.
Exactly. So this last season I'm guessing you did a few of the pro-ams, right?
I did 2 just because my endurance wasn't the best, and I was really focused on 1720 and getting the points. Okay. So I just tried to keep my head going in one place. But I did do the Virginia one because the school paid for it. And then when I went to DeSoto for the national, I did that one.
Okay. Were you starstruck by anybody in there when you did that one? Like, couldn't believe you were lining up with them?
More so in Blue Ridge. There was, I think they had a little bit more pros. In DeSoto, I don't think there was a single pro. It was more of just like an amateur open.
Okay.
So I haven't really had that like racing, like starstruck that I'm with someone.
Mhm.
Like I did a tangent pro-am in 2021, and that's probably the first and last time I ever had that racing with the top pros. And it was at DeSoto, so it was like
Nice.
all the top guys, and I had a good chance to fight with them since I knew that track like the back of my hand.
Yep.
But I also do train with one of the top in the world, Jordan Callum. He's from Australia, and I give him props all the time because I like training with him, and so it's good to get like he's going for the same thing I am, so we're both going for the same goal, and I believe he is just as fast as them. Like, and I'll say I'm not as fast as him yet, so just chasing him around is really good for training and stuff.
Do you already have like a mental list of pros that you think you could pick off? Like when you start, like when we get into a class, that's what we do first. We're like, all right, I think I could get him, and then you just start knocking them off one by one.
Yeah. Go ahead, drop some names for us. We like to know,
Yeah, I'm good on that one. I'm sure all the rookies have a target on their back. There's a lot of rookies turning up this year.
Really?
So I think this is, yeah, I don't want to, I'm already scared enough.
Yeah, we don't want that either.
I guess, so let me ask you too, because I'm not too familiar with UCI. You're going to be racing any UCI races this year?
That's really up in the air because Phoenix has a UCI Sunday, and just because I want to get back to school on Monday, I'm just going to race the 2 pro days. I'll race a UCI Sunday in Nashville. Okay. But really the one that's up in the air is if I really want to pull the plug, and Tulsa has a World Cup. So that's really what I'm thinking about. Like if I can, because I don't want to go if I'm not confident. If I can ride the track beforehand and feel like I'm confident, then I probably will. But this year is also like just getting used to everything. I want to use it as like a training year, and then I don't want to just throw myself into everything right off the bat and do everything, all the UCI and everything. I want to just get my feet wet in the pro class, do a few U23s, and then see where I stand.
Okay.
So how often do you train?
Every day.
Ooh.
Well, it's not always bike, like gym Monday through Friday for sure, and then the days that are arm days, I'm either doing sprints or at the track. And there's normally like Sunday's the rest day because we do some conditioning and stuff on Saturday. So I'd say 6 days a week then because we rest on Sundays.
Okay.
So would you go and do arm work before the track or after the track?
Before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I did, I'd be dead. Like I'll probably lose it in the rhythm section or something, man. My freaking arms get all noodles and just that's it. I'm done, man. That's why I was just wondering because I know when you get tired, it's kind of like not the coolest time to be on the track with your bike, you know.
Mm-mm.
But I'm sure
Probably
you're
not.
young. Yeah, but I mean you're not our age, so yeah. We're old, bro.
Yes,
I'm getting there too.
So let me ask you how tall are you?
5'10".
Okay.
And what size bike do you ride?
Pro double XL.
Okay.
2175 top tube. So whatever,
Okay.
because Alpha that was an XL and Rift that's a double XL.
Yeah, it can vary from brand to brand.
Right.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are you running 175s?
195. Are you talking about the
cranks?
Cranks 180.
Sorry, 180s. Whoa, an old school with it.
Mm-hmm. I just switched up to them. Like before Grands, I jumped up to 180s just because it was almost copying Brody Cole because I'd ridden with him a lot and I felt like I did everything I possibly could and he still pulled away. Like And so I was like, something I need to change.
Right. Smart.
So how did you find out that he had 180s? Did you just ask him?
Before the Louisville National, since that was only 2 hours away from the college, I went up there weeks prior and practiced, and he was there, and I made him ride my bike, and so I could ride his, and so I was just checking it out.
You're like,
I was going to ask you if it was like a sneak type thing. That's funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else did you learn from his bike? Anything?
That's smart. I mean, that's cool.
Well, I was checking for like any exterior like turbos on it and stuff. Other than that, like it was just the cranks, and I was like, I need something longer, more torque out of the gate, be more explosive. So a lot of what I change or what I do is mainly dependent on someone else that I look up to or try to like see what they're doing that's working.
Right.
And so you had 175s before that?
Yeah, for as long as I can remember, I was on 175s.
So how did jump up to 180s feel? Did you feel the difference?
Yes, for sure. At first, it was a little bit more choppy side to side, but the more I did sprints and stuff, like it felt just the same. So it wasn't really a big difference, but I know that logistically it did give me more torque, but the spin wasn't as well. So it's just I gained like the torque, but lost a little bit of the spin. So who knows? I may go back to 175s and go back to 180s, go back and forth.
Yeah, you gotta go till you dial it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did that for a while. So
I was gonna say, yeah, I was when I came back, I was just to me it was just 180s. I think I don't know if that was like the standard length or if that was the only length, but just I just knew 180s, and everybody was just get 180s because I'm 6 foot, and Shannon is was like 5'7", but back then, like I think he told him the same thing, right? Didn't they tell you to go 180s when you were riding when you were younger?
So, yeah,
that was our go-to. So it didn't matter what we did. Like I just found out right now since I raced in the early 90s for like a season, and Shannon raced in like in the 80s, and he was like, "Oh, I was changing my gear and everything," and I was like, "That was something that they did back then," because I just wrote everything stock. Like I bought a Robinson, and I was just like, "There it is. Let's go on the track. Let's go."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I changed my bars out, but other than that, that was pretty much tires were the same, beefy. You know, the dirt track tires, pretty much. So.
Yeah, we traveled with a gear bag, and between me and my brother, we would just look at the track and be like, all right, that's a 4316, bro, and just we'll throw it on, try it. If it wasn't right, we'll just take it off real quick. And,
Some people do that. Some people change it for every session, every track, but I don't know. It's just, it messes with me, even if it is good better for the track, like it gets in my head. And so I'd rather just go into every track that I can with the same thing. Just make it work.
That makes sense.
I think the biggest difference, like when you change your gear either up or down, is just the starts, man. If you throw it on too light of a start, it's like you're just coming out too fast and you start spinning immediately,
Yeah. For me, it's like coming out of the first corner with so much speed and then going to pedal and I'm not going anywhere. So I just try to always make it feel like I'm moving forward with each pedal.
Nice. Yep.
So,
do you feel like you're always in control of the bike? Like when you're riding, do you ever feel like good? Because you guys don't look like you are sometimes. You look like you're just way out of contrdon't, and it's just so fun to watch. I swear it is. But normally guys will say, yeah, I'm in control. And I'm like, no, you're not, bro. Like, you're just, I don't want to say that, but I'm like, I'm glad you said that though, because yeah, cool, man. And I guess you kind of got to ride on the edge like that in order to be that fast and good, man, and to win.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even I'll do something fast and it wasn't on purpose, just because it's body positioning. Like it's probably not good, but sometimes I'm just pedaling and something happens and it may go good or bad. I'm just holding on at this point.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I really wish I'd did more because I was so like focused on BMX, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to get hurt doing something else. And then once I got into high school, I played football my freshman year, and then I went back in that focused mode for BMX. Didn't do anything sophomore year, and then I moved schools, and it was a more small town school, and then I played football and ran track and did the same thing senior year, and then I regretted like everything. Like, oh, I should have dabbled in baseball, or I wish I would have started football earlier because I only had 2.5 years of it, and I loved track. I ended up getting college offers for track just after 2 years. So, like, I wish I would have did more of it. I realized that the training was really well as far as the track running for sprinting, and it just worked really well. Like doing some of those sports, it transferred over to BMX really well, and I didn't have to like do BMX focused training as much. Just ride the bike, and the school kind of had some good training programs that I followed, so I didn't like go to any BMX trainer for a little while.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Because I noticed a lot of the locals at our track, like their second sport is soccer. I mean, probably 85% of them, that's their second sport. Mm-hmm. And I played soccer as a kid, so I know, man, that all soccer players have legs, man. We all run, and that's all we do, a lot of times. Yeah. So it could definitely help. That's cool, though, man. Mm-hmm. But you must have been really good at football, to enter at that age, at that time, to actually, you got selected for the team, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because at that point, they don't just grab anybody who signs up. I mean, you have tryouts and everything, right?
Yeah, it was more of like if you were going to play JV or play varsity, and maybe at the school I was at before, it was a lot bigger, 4,000 something kids. Like it may have not went that well, but the school I was at my junior and senior year, it was like 400 kids. So gotcha. So it was a lot better playing field for me, and I ended up loving it a lot, and regret not doing it sooner for sure.
That's cool. So you got a little bit of the team sport and a little bit of the individual stuff. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So currently, who are all your sponsors?
Pickle Juice is my biggest one, and they've been with me even through Alpha. They've been my biggest sponsor. And then I have Rift Tangent. They've helped me out a lot to get this bike going. R9 Designs, who designed is going to design my number plate. He's a friend from Indy. No Logo makes the jersey and stuff. Just trying to get some here and there who are willing to, but I'm not super eager because, a lot of them are kind of hesitant on a new pro, like who hasn't established himself, which I'm not worried about. Like I want to go in there and try to establish myself and like earn a lot of the stuff and not do a lot of like asking for this and that. So I have a lot of support from Pickle Juice and my grandparents, so that's kind of where we're at right now.
I was gonna ask you because I love pickles and I love Pickle Juice, so I'm like, this can't be the same thing. So what is Pickle Juice? Is it its own brand, obviously?
Yes, it's a sports drink to stop muscle cramps. It started watching the Eagles in the Super Bowl probably like 10 plus years ago, and someone was cramping and then just had some like not good pickle juice. So the brand owner had the idea and ran with it, and has 10 times the electrolytes than any other sports drink. It's like not bad for you, like out of the jar. There's a bunch of vinegar and stuff that you don't need. So it's like super healthy, a lot of electrolytes, stops muscle cramps. They recently came out with a chili lime pickle juice. I don't even know if it's released, but it's in the making. But yeah, like it's really good for anything. I never really had the problem of cramping, so that's not really why I ever used it. It was just to stay hydrated. But now I cramp like a lot, so it helps a lot to have that.
Really? Why is that, do you think?
I just thinking it's here recently. I've weight trained forever, but here recently it's spiked up a lot, especially in the lower body, like just the type of training, actually doing structured blocks of weight training, building up. Like it's been a lot harder, and I've never had the focus of endurance. And we've just the higher level BMXers at the school, like I go with them to do the watt bike training, which I've never done, and so it's just a lot more intensity and end up cramping and not drinking enough water, stuff like that.
Okay. Did you ever say like, damn, this is too much, bro? I'm not sure if I want to do all this. Like,
no,
this is a lot, bro.
Every watt bike session we've done, I've puked after, and so then I keep wanting to do them until I don't puke. Like work up until I get it to where it's not that way, and I can do them easier. So whenever I find something that's really difficult like that, like I want to keep doing it to where it gets easier, and like figure out why it's so difficult and what to change. And so actually, like it, I never really like stray away from stuff like that, other than stuff on the bike. Like I hate doing full laps in practice, so you won't catch me doing any of that. Like, but off the track, like I'll do anything that's really difficult.
That's funny, man. There was an old pro from the late 70s, early 80s that was on Facebook not too long ago, and he was saying like, if you don't dry heave, if you're not throwing up after practice or whatever during training, he said you're not training. It was kind of simple as that.
Yeah, for some reason it's just different for me when I'm on the bike. Like I hate having that feeling, so I'll push till it's close and then I'm done. So that's probably an issue, and I need to fix it. But like for some reason, puking, getting off the bike is not something I enjoy. So
yeah, well, that was very impressive when you said that. Yeah, that you're gonna do it until you can't do it. I'm like, damn, bro, you're gonna go through it, because that is the worst feeling ever, man. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
How many laps do you think it takes for you to get used to a track? A track you haven't ridden?
Three.
And
the first one is doing nothing but rolling around it, and then the second one is rolling around it a lot faster and actually manually and jumping stuff. Okay. And are you saying like I need 3 laps and then I can do something faster on the third lap?
I'm just saying, like, this is your first time at this track. They're getting ready to race in the next hour. How many laps would it take for you to be like race ready to go?
3 practice laps and I can race on the 4th one.
Okay, nice.
Jeez,
that's pretty cool.
Because that's what we get at Grant. Like at Grams, the 1720 or whatever the age group was, the practice was insane. So I think I did get 3 laps because a lot of the 1720s like to jump the pro set, and a lot of them were breaking forks and like doing backflips and hurting themselves, and so wasted a bunch of time. So we got like 3 laps, and then I didn't race the ROC, so then took 2 days away from it, which that doesn't help. But so yeah, like normally it'll be about 3 laps, and I can feel like I can do something.
Have you ever raced cruiser?
Yeah, up until I was probably 15, it was so probably like 10 years of cruiser.
Oh wow!
And I really enjoyed it. If I could race the cruiser in class, I would. I liked the cruiser a lot better. Just it was way easier to jump. I raced the worlds on cruiser, and I just enjoyed riding it. And the only reason I stopped is because mine got way too small. And I rode the same one from when I was like 11 to 15, and I was going to ride it until it was too small and then stop. But yeah, I enjoyed cruiser.
Wow. So you love it or hate it, it seems like.
With the people we've been talking to, you're the only one that we know that's actually raced it as long as anybody has ever raced it.
Yeah. Really?
A lot of people are like, maybe a season, maybe 2, but they just focused on the 20.
Yeah, one guy said he got into the cruiser once, remember?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. It was mainly because I was never really established, or I was kind of just mid pack and everything. So cruiser seemed to be easier to actually get a result, and like because I didn't make a main and expert until I was like 14. So, and I raced national since I was 5, and it just I could make my mains in cruiser, and I seemed to actually get some results, and it gave me something to kind of have hope for. And then once I actually established myself and got a lot better, then and was doing good in class, I just wanted to focus on that. But I didn't really have that ability before. Like I just couldn't make it click. So cruiser was kind of where it was at to get some main events and stuff like that.
And one of the reasons also I asked is because I went to Grands last year, and somebody was like, if you want to get some more time on the track, grab somebody's cruiser and ride the cruiser practice also. And I definitely think that helped, just those 2 extra laps, meaning because we only had 2 laps to start with. I think we had 15, 20 minutes, and there was a bunch of guys, and so definitely hopping on the cruiser practice helped, later on. I feel.
Yeah, I did that too. I probably should have did it this last year, but years prior, whenever I didn't race the cruiser, I would borrow someone else's and go ride, even if it wasn't the right size. Just being on the track and seeing it was good enough. So
that's what I did. The cruiser I was riding was too small, but it was just fine for me, just to get a feel of the track. And no doubt about it. Yeah. And so, since you rode cruiser before, that'd be easy for you to hop on a cruiser and to do that. So,
yeah.
But that was the trick somebody told me. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll wake up a little earlier and get on that practice. Of course, we want to get on the track, right?
Exactly.
So you were saying that you went through a span where you weren't winning an expert. So how did you mentally stay focused to just be like, all right, this is just where it's at? Because that's usually the age and around the same time frame that the kids they're not winning. They're just like, all right, a couple months into it. All right, well, I'm done with this sport. It's not fun anymore. So how did you mentally get over that hurdle just so that way, you can start improving from where you were?
I feel like it was more mental the whole time, because like in the state series in Texas and Gold Cups, like I won the state and class and cruiser over like 6 years in a row, and did the Gold Cup, and I was winning that. And like the same kids that I was racing in Texas were getting podiums at the nationals, and I couldn't even make it out of quarters. And like it was like I could beat them all the time back home, but when we got to the bigger stage, like I had the ability, I just wasn't, for some reason. It was more of a scared thing. Like didn't want to commit. I'd never actually shown myself I could do it, so it just took like 1 or 2 times to actually do it. And then after that, it never went back. Like it was, the ability was definitely, the ability was definitely there. It just, my grandpa made me take a year off and just do not race any nationals and just ride and train. And then I came back and just never looked back after that.
That's funny you said that, because I had an older brother that I used to race, he was at the track with me, and he always used to tell me, man, stop being up, whatever, bro. Like, what are you doing out there? So he was the one that made it click for me. And then all of a sudden, that was it. It just opened up everything, So the people that like were kind of bringing you up in racing, were they hard on you? Did they make it like fun? Did they make it like miserable? I've seen both,
I think it was the clinics. I did a lot of clinics every week that really did it for me. And it was the parts where it was like we were put in groups and had to be physical with each other, but we're not going very fast, but just run into each other. And it just gave me the feel of like contact. And it was a bunch of the people with tough love, like just like, you need to just get it together. Like you do it here, so why can't you do it here? Like, and just, I think that's probably what gets to me the most, is the harsh stuff. Like, so then I end up just doing it. Like if I'm scared to jump something, then I hear all that, and then just go do it or something.
That's old school right there, man. No doubt. Right? Do you have a favorite food that you eat?
I could eat chicken and rice for the rest of my life. Like I'm pretty, I just like here in the past like 2 years, that's what's helped a lot is with working out. Like I was hitting a plateau, not going anywhere. So the nutrition and stuff like that started kicking in. So like chicken and rice every day, I can do that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's one of the better things right there. But I mean, you're in Texas where like all the steaks and stuff are, and that's not even like
if that's available, then yeah. But if we're talking on here on a budget that I could actually do, then I'm just used to the chicken and rice.
Are you looking forward to the pro schedule next year of being done racing before 2 p.m.?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and I different than a lot of the others, I actually like enjoy just watching it as well. Like even at Graham's, like everyone wanted to go do something or hang out. For some reason, I just wanted to sit there in the stands and watch. So I enjoy like I can be done and actually sit there and watch and get to see a lot of the racing. So that's what I'm excited about as well.
So knowing that you're going into the pros, have you watched a lot of video of the other pros to know what you're up against? I mean, you know what you're up against, but like just the individual pros to see their riding styles and what you're up against.
Definitely a lot of Cam Wood. Like on TikTok, you get a notification if someone views your profile, and it's like every single day. So I'm surprised he hasn't messaged me because I just watch his videos over and over.
Bro, I'm sorry, but did anybody ever tell you look a little like Cam Wood?
Really?
Bro, am I lying ever?
A little bit.
Bro, if you put the cowboy hat on, you are Cam Wood, bro. I swear, right now.
Yeah, I can't copy his style, or else I would have done that first. But he got there before I did, so
yeah,
I would be wearing the cowboy hat if I could get to the top step as well. So that's actually what I was talking to my girlfriend about. Was someday I want to get on the top step and wear a cowboy hat, and him being like second, and we can wear it together.
He can take his off.
There it is.
Yeah,
yours is bigger. That's all.
Have you raced outside of the U.S. and where?
Never.
Never.
The only reason I raced the Worlds was because it was in Rock Hill. But other than that, I've just been like everywhere, anywhere in the U.S. Never got the chance to go outside of it yet. But I could imagine with me turning pro that could be very soon, like going to a World Cup of some sort here in the next year or two. So I see that in the future for sure.
Awesome. What track? Is there any tracks that you saw overseas that you want to ride?
Papendal in the Netherlands. That's a good one that I'd like to go to. One of the first ones. Or Manchester, the indoor one.
Oh yeah.
Those are probably the two that I want to do first because they seem like something I would enjoy looking at them. They're not as technical, a lot of pedaling, more smooth. So those are probably the two I want to do first.
So I think that's is Manchester on that Bethany's always at? Because I think she practices mostly indoors. Is what I've seen in your videos.
Yeah,
that track looks huge. Like
it's definitely huge.
I'm like that thing is built on a football field. I'm like that thing is just like massive looking.
Yeah, and they have good timers set up, and there's no wind affecting you, and and a lot of good training available. So not even for racing, I'd probably end up going there just for training, like get with somebody that's from there and get a connection and try to go there and visit and stuff like that. So that's probably another thing that this next 2 years is going to be is making connections with other pros to make things easier for training and stuff like that. So,
right.
Yeah, that seems to be what you guys do, man. Just try to hang in the packs, which makes sense, Of course, you want to ride with other pros, especially pros that have been in the game that could teach you things,
Exactly.
That's awesome that you have that, How easy is it to be accepted in those circles of guys, I'm sure it varies from person to person because of just people are people, and just, but like, are they accepting you? Are they like, oh, bro, come on, man, you can't wait to turn pro so we can, hang out and.
It just depends on who you like. If they don't know anyone that you've raced, or like there's a lot of cliques for sure. Like if you've made a rivalry with somebody, like whoever you're wanting to have a connection with, they can't be friends with that rival because it's never going to work. So it's a work in progress. Like it's smarter to just not have any like beef with anyone, like so that you don't have that issue or don't have a bad reputation on social media, like stuff like that. Like you can't do all like have the beef be like a big name that's running their mouth and then expect to get up there and everyone accept you, and because that's probably what's going to happen to quite a few is they're going to try to come into the pro class and make a statement early, and it's not the smartest thing. So just strategy going into it for sure.
And those are the ones we don't see anymore. We're wondering where they went.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Around your age, yeah, no, I was cocky. I was that guy. So.
Yeah, it's a lot
gonna
of
stop me. That's how I was. It's gonna stop me. Like,
yeah,
you know. So that's just how it was. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm at that age where I'm just like, except for social media, I have to calm Shannon down because he's over there lighting fires and stuff.
Hell no. Get out of here, bro. Call me a troll, huh?
So, but yeah, I mean, just man, that's pretty cool. Like, so when you're racing, what do you listen to before you get your bike to go to the track? Are you listening to something that pumps you up? Like, what's your go-to?
It's really just because the pumping up, like it normally like makes me worse. So it's almost like I listen to music that just keeps me more at home and relaxed. So, which is like country, almost the same. I switch in the gym, it's country, or I go on Apple Music and look up gym motivation and listen to like David Goggins or something. And so, but yeah, before race, it's definitely like just country, just to get me relaxed and not focused on anything, just sitting there relaxed because I'm prepared whenever I got to the track. So there's not really any extra motivation I need. Like I just need to do what I know I can do and just try to stay relaxed.
So if I were to grab your AirPods right now, I wouldn't find Taylor Swift in that rotation.
Maybe you might, especially recently with Travis Kelce. I might have hopped out with some Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Okay.
I won't lie. There's definitely rap in there, and there's that's more like that's definitely like something I listen to. Like if I have the aux at the track or something, just playing on the mute, like just riding. But as far as to get me ready and stuff, like it's definitely country.
Okay. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I'll go ahead, Shannon.
I was gonna say classic rock is what it is for me, man. That's just what does it. But I could understand about being too pumped up. Like I get that part. I've heard that before. People don't, you know, whether they work out in the gym, they don't want to hear music that makes them like realize that they're working out. You know, they wanted to have something that just kind of takes them away from the fact that they're lifting heavy weights and doing stuff they really don't want to do, you know.
Exactly.
So
a lot of the people at school give me a hard time for even listening to anything because apparently it's a new trend to like, what are you going to do when you're racing? You're not going to have that music to listen to, like stuff like that. But that doesn't worry me. So I'm still listening to my music.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's for some reason I hear it a lot now that nobody's listening to anything because they want it to have their own thoughts, and they're not going to have the music when they're actually racing. So a lot of my friends don't even listen to anything. So they're all talking to each other when we're working out, but I still got my AirPods in.
Wow. Never heard that one.
Right? I'm like, no, I need my music. No, don't talk to me.
No.
You know, getting into good conversation.
Jeez Louise.
So I mean, as adults, me and Everett, we have jobs, and I'm sure Everett's called in a couple of times. You wake up in the morning, you're like, "Damn, I don't feel like going to work, bro." Just call in, for whatever reason. I mean, this is your job, man. Are there any days that you have like a scheduled track day, training day, and you're like, "Bro, you're not sick, you're just tired, you just don't go." You're like, "Yo, I'm calling in today, man."
I normally make myself like a deal in my head to make it sound better. Like that means tomorrow we're gonna do this, and I just double up or something like that. But it's honestly kind of rare. Like that would normally happen with the gym before it would happen with anything with the bike because Sunday is normally the rest day. But if I have one of them days, I just push everything back one day and make that one day my rest day. So if it happens, then everything still will get in. It's just not how it planned to be.
Gotcha. So as long as your goals are accomplished at the end of the week, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's goals. All right.
Yeah, how often do you change your tires?
Used to like once a year, but now like once every 2 races.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know really the reason, if it's more because I have more access now, or if I'm just riding more. Yeah, that's probably the main reason.
Right, Shane, Michael Jordan changes his shoes every game.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
Yeah, we.
So what are you doing with all these
trails? And
what are you doing with all these used tires, bro?
Well, like I got to a certain point where now I have a sprint bike and a race bike, so then just cycle them through. But once the used tires are done, then they kind of just pile up until I either throw them away or give them to someone, honestly. Because there's definitely a lot of people that need a temporary tire, and I'm like, oh, I have one you can use, and I never see it again, but I don't need it because it was an old one anyways. But it's normally what happens.
Do you run the same size front and back tire? The size?
No? For some reason, just a visual thing, I like a bigger tire in the front when I'm looking at it. So I run a 195 in the front and then a 175 in the back.
See, I wish I had that option.
Well, like, what brand's making the 195?
The Tioga Faster X makes. Okay. No, the Power Block made a 195, and then Faster X they only make a 185. So I actually run a 185 in the front.
Okay.
Because it seemed like when I looked at the pros bikes, they ran the same thing on the front and back. Just 175s in front and back, 185s in front and back. So yeah.
Normally, it's hardly ever do I see anything than a 175 on the back, and I don't even see 2 mismatch things, which I'll probably end up changing that. But for a while, it's been 2 different ones, just because I liked the bigger fat tire. Like looking at it, I just felt more comfortable going around the corners and stuff like that. It may have not helped because I still slide out, but yeah, just to get with the program, I'll probably run the same 2 175s. So,
but I have seen that before where dudes is running 2 different tires. One in the front just that they swear by that's not going to wash out on them, and then the one in the back that they swear by for the starts or whatever. So before I forget, have you ever been poked?
My finger is stuck like this because of getting poked.
Oh my God, you serious, bro?
Poked as in like just like pimped in a corner, or like poked?
Well, poked by poked.
Well, yeah, all of them were poked. Probably like a good 8 to 10 times by him. But we're friends, like, because he lives in the Indianapolis area, but yeah, like for a while, like I could get in front of him, but like I couldn't stay in front of him. So like, it was probably 2021. I hole shotted like 10 races, I only won 2 because Drew won the 8 that he passed me in. I got poked probably 8 times that year. And then this year, this year I was in front of him, not as much, but it was in Missouri, and I was scared. I got poked by him in one spot the year before, so I carved a little too hard, slid out, and he tried to bunny hop over me.
That was you. Oh
okay,
my
okay.
God, bro.
I remember.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So yeah,
I remember
there's
that.
definitely been a fair share of the pokes, and now I have my finger like this. So
Jeez, man.
Jeez. I was gonna say, so is your finger your worst accident?
probably just because it's like there forever unless I get surgery, but definitely like tearing a meniscus. That I haven't had any major, but I'd have surgery on that. But other than that, like knock on wood, that's pretty much been it.
And so you have strength in that pinky, like that doesn't
I mean,
affect you
it
holding
hooks
the
on
bars at all.
hooks up to the handlebar, so I'm
I'm
good.
like, yeah, look, I'm like, it looks like it's race ready. It's like,
Because, like,
ready to go.
To fix it, like when it first happened, the only way was to like straighten it out in like a splint, but I couldn't ride, so I would wear the splint for a while and then take it off and bend it to ride. So it was just a back and forth thing. So then I just finally took it off, and then now it's just stuck. So.
Oof. When you're young. When you're young.
Yeah, I do something like that. I'm done, bro. I'm selling my bike. I'm done. You'll see me at the track, but on the side of the track, you know.
Yeah. Probably would have been smart, but
so what's your favorite movie?
Lone Survivor or American Sniper, which are both war movies, and for some reason I just like the action. But it's a close like between action and comedy, and I would go with Ride Along 2. Anything with like Kevin Hart and The Rock, like I like them too, and all the movies they're in. So that's kind of my drift.
What's your favorite football team?
The Cowboys.
I was like, oh, is he gonna say it? You guys are looking pretty good this season. Yeah, I'm like, you guys are looking pretty good this season.
Yeah, it might be the year.
I'm a Niners fan, so I'm a Niners fan, so I'm gonna say it's not gonna be your year, but hey, you know. Me and my cousin go back and forth. He's a Cowboys fan.
Really?
As well, yeah. And so
yeah, Brock Purdy needs to be benched.
Yeah. Hit one bad game. One bad game. 3 interceptions. I saw it. I was like, and everybody's like, oh yeah, he's just a fluke. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna have a bad game. Like now if he does it like 2-3 weeks in a row, then yeah, get him out of there. You know? So who's your favorite vet pro?
Probably Nick Long, if that counts.
Well, it definitely counts.
Racing, the racing aspect, and just the person aspect, just what he's done for the sport. And I just enjoy watching him, just entertaining, just him being on flats and just doing it more for the love of the game. I enjoy watching him.
I was gonna say, yeah, we just talked to him last week, and I was trying to get him to like, "Would you want to just clip in one time to beat Barry, just so you can let him know where you sit with it?" And he's just like, "Nah, I'm good." Because I'm pretty sure if you put them clips on, bro, like I think you'll be way out there in the front. So
yeah, it takes a man to just like let it happen and give it to everyone else.
So and he's where he's at, where he just loves
he knows. Yeah. That's why he does it. He knows, man. You know.
I mean, hell, he whole shot at the Olympics like 3 years ago. So I think that's enough said right there.
Oh yeah.
So who's your
steak sponsor, bro?
Do what?
I said we got to get you a steak sponsor.
I agree.
So who's your? I guess I guess I was gonna say, who's your favorite pro to watch now? But since you're in the mix with them, do you have one?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm still a fan. Probably Cam Wood for sure.
Right.
Like he's just like someone I look up to, watch everything. Like I just admire a lot of stuff about him. But I like what Shibby's doing, and so it's probably them two who I probably watch the most.
Okay. With traveling and everything. What?
I was gonna say, I mentioned this a few times on a few of the podcasts, I'm sure, but do you remember the race between Shibby and Cam at Harvesty when Shibby passed Cam on the rhythm section? I think it was the third straight for the title.
Yeah.
That was freaking amazing, bro. Like, because I know how fast Cam is, and for Shibby to pass him the way he did, it just blew my mind, bro. And I always knew he was a strong rider. So and
he just worked so hard for it.
Yeah, he definitely did. You know, and so and I think his mind was just in a different place than like a lot of the other pro riders. You know, and I've said this before, how he just looked so relaxed and like he was having so much fun that weekend before the race, and how that probably played into him riding so well. Like he wasn't too focused, I don't think. He knew what he had to do. He was there to do it, you know, but beforehand, he wasn't like just, oh, that's it, bro. Race. Let me focus on the track. Let me focus on my bike. You know, he was just having fun, bro. He was on the line bike, jumping stuff and just going crazy out there in the city, you know. And then he hops on his bike and he does that. I'm like, whoa, bro. Like, it just, you know, because like I said, I know how fast Cam Wood is. And for him to just blow past him the way he did and win, I was just like, it was kind of surprising.
I was happy,
even though I know how fast he is. Yeah. I know Cam Woods would probably kill me when he sees me. He's like, bro, how many times are you going to talk about that? Are you that little shit?
Right. I was gonna say, what race are you looking forward to this next season? Like, what's the one that you feel is probably going to put you on the map and just you're gonna go there and just kill it?
There's probably three, but probably I'm gonna say Phoenix, which is this coming month. I just feel like it's a really good track. In 1720 I did really well there, even though they've rebuilt the whole thing. I'm really excited for that one. It's a smaller one. And then Nashville, I just love that track. And then I've never been, but they're having one in Michigan. I feel like, especially the time frame of it, all the top ones are really focused on the Olympics and the Worlds, and there's World Cups. So like the Nashville and Michigan are kind of, and like I'm not to that level yet, so I'm going to as many as I can. So those are going to be ones where I'm going to have a solid chance to get my name out there, I feel like. So
get the points.
For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you out there, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm good. Do you have any other questions, Shannon?
I think we're good for now, man. We should wrap it up, man.